The dust curled up in spirals as the tiny tricycle rolled along the cracked highway, its fat tires groaning against the scorched asphalt. The sky, an endless stretch of faded bronze, shimmered with the hum of an ozone burn. There were no birds, no clouds, just that relentless sun glaring down on a world that had long since stopped caring about the creatures crawling across it. Seated atop the camper tricycle hybrid, a grotesquely modified child's trike, fused with scavenged solar panels, aluminum piping, and a small pod-shaped shelter, was a girl no older than 12. Her name was Elka. Her goggles were cracked. Her skin was tanned like old leather. And on her back was a map drawn in black ink, tattooed by her father with shaking hands before the meltdown. A map he told her led to water. She hadn't spoken to another human in 3 weeks. The solar pod hummed quietly as it stored energy, keeping the cold box chilled just enough to stop the food from rotting too fast. 2 tins of protein jelly remained. She was saving them. She had to. As Elka pedaled, she scanned the horizon. The land was flat, too flat. It had once been suburbs and shopping centers, but now it was rubble, melted into a new topography, unnatural and smooth. Artificial hills formed by collapsed towers, trees turned to ash sculptures, silence so thick it made your ears ring. Then she saw it, a shimmer in the distance, not like heat waves. This one moved with purpose, a glint of chrome. She stopped pedaling, reached slowly to the dashboard panel. One by one, she flipped switches. Lights off, motor quiet, emergency beacon disabled. She crouched low, waited. The shimmer grew. It had legs, 4 of them, a walker. Her pulse quickened. She'd heard stories on the radio before it died out. Walkers didn't roam unless they were scanning. And they only scanned for 2 things, metal and movement. Elka's trike was both. The walker approached in rhythmic thuds. Hydraulic joints hissed as it stepped closer. It wasn't fast. It didn't need to be. Most prey didn't roll away at high speed. The old man who sold her the last solar plate said the walkers were built by the core collective to clean up stray drones and unregistered tech. But with the collapse of the collectives, the machines kept walking, scanning, dismantling anything that still moved. Elka had 30 seconds, maybe less. She yanked a lever. The trike folded down with a hiss, collapsing into a low-profile shell. She activated the dust blankets, woven mesh that blended into the landscape. The pod disappeared beneath layers of gray. She pressed herself into the cold interior, heart pounding. Outside, the walker stopped. She could hear its sensors whirring. A red beam lit the dust an inch from her cover. Then it passed, thudding away, back into the endless burn. She waited 15 minutes before emerging. Her hands trembled. She wiped her forehead, tasted salt, looked up at the sky again. Still that damn bronze. She climbed back onto the trike, rebooted the panel. The solar pod blinked. 8% charge, not enough, so she pedaled for hours. The wind dry as sandpaper, the wheels cracked over scorched stones until the landscape changed. It began with shadows, big ones, not clouds, those were long extinct. No, these shadows were static, solid, buildings, ruins, a city. Elka slowed, her breath caught. She hadn't seen real structures in months. She entered cautiously, weaving through collapsed towers and sun-warped cars. Graffiti marked the ruins in strange symbols, newer than she'd expected. Someone had been here. The city was silent, but not dead. She set up camp in the shell of an old delivery van. The trike folded beside her. She unfolded her father's map again. The symbol etched over this place looked like a teardrop. Underneath, they remember. She didn't sleep. Just after midnight, the humming began. Not electric, human, singing. Low and slow, like a lullaby underwater. Elka crept out of the van, dragging a pipe wrench behind her. She followed the sound past shattered glass into what once was a department store. On the far wall, someone had arranged hundreds of cracked display mirrors into a massive, shimmering shape, an eye, and beneath it, a boy, maybe 15, singing into a recorder loop. She froze. He saw her, didn't stop singing. When the loop finished, he clicked it off. "You're late," he said, smiling. Her voice cracked. "You know me?" The boy nodded. "Everyone who's still moving is looking for you, Elka. You're the one with the map." She clutched her bag. "How do you know my name?" "Because I used to dream of the ocean, and you're the only one who still knows where it is." He stepped forward. Elka stepped back. "Don't worry," he said, raising both hands. "I don't want to take it. I want to help. Prove it." He tapped his chest. A glowing sigil pulsed just beneath his collarbone, an old core tracking implant. "I ripped it out 3 years ago. Been off the grid ever since. Name's Lior." Elka glanced around. "This place. The map says they remember. What does that mean?" Lior walked to the mirror eye. "This city's haunted, not with ghosts, data echoes. The first core testing ground. Memory was part of the architecture. This place remembers it." Elka stared at her younger self on the mirror. The image blinked, then whispered, "Go north." Lior turned to her. "If we follow that path, the machines will track us." "They're already tracking me," he smiled. "Good. Then we give them something worth chasing." That night, they rode together. The camper tricycle towed a salvaged drone bike. Solar energy buzzed low as the city faded behind them. In its place, the wild returned, mutated forests, abandoned railways, and soundless storms of ash. Everywhere they went, the trike held up, tireless, relentless, a legend in motion. They met others, a girl who could mimic machine code, a blind man with echolocation, a woman who had rewired a walker and made it dance. Elka's name spread like static fire. The girl with the map, the last pathfinder. But the core had not died. It had been sleeping, waiting. And now, with Elka's signals reappearing across old networks, it began to awaken. Deep beneath the crust, in databanks buried under melted military bunkers, a signal pulsed.